What's up, everybody? Welcome to That Range Life, episode 80. Sometimes this show is about golf. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't, and you have to do it twice. So we're doing it twice this week. Right. We're trying something a little different. So if the video is terrible, we apologize. Anyway, that's Chris McEwen. This is his YouTube page. Do us a favor, like down below. We work hard for you guys. It's the 80th episode, for Pete's sake. And then hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified when, I don't know, we have new live videos coming up. We have course vlogs. We have tournaments that we're going to be playing soon. You name it. We do it all. So subscribe, get notified, do all that. All right, Chris, it's a pleasure to talk to you again this week about golf topics. We had some technical issues with the show this week. That's fine. We're happy to do it again, but we're paring it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about the Tour Edge Exotics E721 irons. And then now that we both have them in hand, the new TRUE Linkswear Dead Golfer capsule pack, whatever
I'm
you want to call it.
excited about that too. Yeah. I've got some, even since the last time we did this, which was basically 48 hours ago, give or take, I've got new feedback on the Dead Golfer shoes. So we're not going to do the thing. So when you say, let's do gear talk,
we're just going
to do gear talk. Right.
We're just doing it. All right. Fair enough. Gear talk. Let's get into it. The Tour Edge Exotics E721 irons. All right. If you don't mind, let me flip to some notes because we talked about this days ago and I already forgot everything.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
This is fun for me too because I am producing and being in the show at the same time. It's quite the thing.
And it could be a disaster. We have no idea what to expect.
It's true. It could be a complete, for sure. Okay. Sorry.
Anyway,
open your notes.
E721 irons from Tour Edge. Okay. We talked about the C721 on the show some time ago. And then we talked about the E521 and C521 from the Hot Launch series. Similar concept. The E series is the extreme, E for extreme game improvement iron option. Okay. So who's it for? The player that wants all the help they can get, all the forgiveness they can get out of a set of irons, right? This isn't for all the people who want to play the butter knives and tiny little baby blades. It's not what this club is. But if you say, hey, I like help hitting it a little straighter, maybe with a nice little draw on it. I tend to hit the ball a little thick. Give me some help there. I don't hit the sweet spot every time. You name it. That's what these clubs are for, okay? Extreme game improvement. Now, what comes along with game improvement, Chris? Size. Are they a little on the larger side? Yes. I don't know. Maybe I could do this.
Actually, your video looks really good. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Good. They're larger. Like it's a game improvement club. So nothing can take away from that. But they're not the largest I've ever seen. They're a little longer heel to toe. The top line is a little thick. It is thick. That's what happens with severe undercut cavities. They need enough space to make said cavity and give you the perimeter weighting. But Tour Edge does a really good job blending that top line and rolling it on the back and the front just a little bit so it doesn't look so sharp, giant, and offensive to look at. It's smooth and, yes, it is a little large, but that's what you have to expect in this category of golf club. Your next question might be, Bill, does it have offset? Yes, it has notable offset. It is a game improvement iron. But what I will tell you about these E721s, Tour Edge did a pretty good job on not making it like, here's the golf shaft, here's the face. They blend the hosel into the heel, right, which then goes into the face.
Sure.
Pretty nicely. So don't get me wrong. This is a 7-iron. You can see the offset. It's not hiding from you, but it's nice and smoothly done. I want to say it was like the Callaway Steelhead X16 irons back in the day. It was just like a stick straight down and a golf club about a shaft and a half behind it. and there was no blend to it, and that's what I was thinking. Like, you don't want to see. Not here. It looks pretty smooth, not as offset as you think. And then it blends a little bit. So the 4-iron's going to have the most noticeable offset. The wedges are going to have the least amount. That said, they have a ton of loft, so that makes up for it. And generally, the whole left-right thing's not as much of a problem there. Speaking of wedges, Chris, this set, power lofted. What that means, they have a stronger loft than they might normally have at each number. So instead of a 4-iron being like 22 to 24 degrees ish, it's 19 degrees. The set goes all the way through pitching wedge, approach wedge, gap wedge, right? So usually those are used synonymously, but they're offering 2 more lofts there. Sand wedge. So you go from 19 degrees through 56 degrees. You go, well, Bill, why is that? Because of the power lofting. So really your 4-iron's more like a 3-iron, 5-iron's like a 4-iron, et cetera, et cetera. But given they go through 4 different wedges, you're going to cover all of your distance gaps, right? Your yardage gaps, no problem. So that's why they have them through 4 different wedges and start at the 4-iron. Here's the thing. Though they're power lofted, they have a low and deep, as they say, center of gravity. The idea being the lower, just like woods, right? The lower center of gravity makes it easier to get the ball in the air and tends to be easier to control, maybe give you a little more spin. But because they power lofted them, made the loft stronger, it keeps it from ballooning. It keeps it from spinning too much where you can't control it and just spins everywhere, because that's the whole point of these, is right, to give you more control. You want to be able to control them. Why do you want a ton of spin, but you still need enough to hold the green, right? There's a sweet spot in it. So the low and deep center of gravity with that power lofting gives you a pretty nice mid to high, and right in between there. Launch angle, good distance. I mean, they seriously go. Longest and I would say the easiest iron I think I've ever hit, and the easiest to hit a long way. Okay. All right. What else is there? There's a lot. We're not even done here. So let's talk about that length and that heat, and then the forgiveness a little bit. So yes, it has a low and deep center of gravity to go further, but then right here in the face, they added a bunch of weight. So that's low, keeping the center of gravity low in the face or low in the head, and moving it out this way. That takes your sweet spot closer, longer, and more in the center of the club. So traditionally, the center of gravity is based more towards the heel, because our little friend, the hosel, and the shaft going heavy adds a bunch of weight. So the center of gravity wants to be this way. By adding weight here, it comes out more to the middle, but also makes it a bit longer. Therefore, Chris, more forgiving. So if you don't hit the center of the face, you're a little toward the heel or the toe, it's going to help you out there.
Got you.
Adding to that forgiveness, Diamond Face 2.0 technology. Yep. We have Diamond Face in the irons now. So for those who don't know, it's been in the woods. We've talked about it on this show. Diamond Face is where they put little diamond shapes behind the face of the club. There's 103 of them, so I've read. I haven't cut the head apart to find out for myself. I'm not going to. There's 103 of them, 3 varying thicknesses. They point that out. So there's 3 different sizes within the 103 diamonds. And what they do is act as like mini trampolines. So when the ball hits the face, they do their thing and spring the ball forward, jumps off the face. That also helps in the forgiveness and the distance, just like it does in the fairway woods, the drivers, etc. So you don't have to be as perfect. You don't have to hit the middle. Forgiving, super forgiving. Last but not least, VibraCore technology. That's their proprietary TPU resin goop, whatever we want to call it, injected into the head of the iron. It's in 2 places here, right behind the face and in the cavity, like the lower part of the undercut in the cavity. This so these are forged heads, but there's a lot of space in them. And what that material does, and while you want there to be some spring, you still want it to feel solid. You don't want, you don't want the head to cave in on you and want to get good response and feedback. That's what that's going to do for you. It's going to give you that response. It's going to tune up the sound a little bit too, so you don't have like a metalwood sound off of an iron, if that makes sense.
Sure. Does to me.
Does some sound dampening. Also helps keep a nice responsive feel, but it's very clean. It's a very smooth feel because of it, and that's one of the nice things about all these injected irons these days. They're nailing it now, so it does give you a smoother, cleaner feel, and a lot of the mishits will feel better as a result of it. So, VibraCore got that in here too. Overall summary: super long, super forgiving. Like I said, I think this is a great club for that guy or gal. Pretty good player. But look, if it helps them keep the ball straight, keep it down the middle on their target, maybe give them a little draw, and it goes longer and farther for them with less work, they'll take it, right? Get all the help they can.
Sure.
Take every bit of it. That's what the E721 is. So long, so easy to hit. I don't think you have to be great to hit it by any means, but at the same time, I think you can be pretty good and still benefit from it. One thing I did not mention, while it's an extreme game improvement iron, it's a pretty mild sole.
So that was what I was waiting to ask about, because we did talk about in the previous unrecorded, never to be released show.
Right.
So when you look at that club, like, bring it up to the camera again, which actually looks really good tonight. Little too close. Perfect.
Okay.
That does not look like one of your super extreme game improvement iron designs. I think you kind of went through it pretty quick there, but like, that doesn't scream, extreme improvement or
right.
Super, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's a pretty good looking iron from the bottom, and from the you mentioned the top line a little thicker, but I think the people that are playing that thing have never, if they've held a blade, they know they're not meant to hit a blade. And so that's not a thing. It's not a thing. But that doesn't really scream like, I'm playing these super kind of shovel-y bottom.
As I say,
iron.
shovel's the big term, right? Most super game improvement clubs have, just sleds on the bottom of them. Let's take, for instance, the Hot Launch E521, right? Those things are literally mini fairway woods, right? Or mini hybrids. They have these big, thick soles, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're for a certain person.
No,
I think
you play what you should be playing. Yeah, that's got nothing to do with anything. Right.
And I've hit players' distance irons, so like players' clubs that have this thick of sole. And like, it's not thin. No one's gonna think this is like I said, it's no one's gonna think it's a Mizuno MP14 from back in the day by any means.
But the people that are playing those or should be playing those have never played one of those anyways. An MP14, no matter what.
Well, not necessarily, because I think it could be like a senior player who just doesn't have as much of a game anymore, and they move into this, and they're like, I need the help of the club, but I'm so used to this feel of in this type of sole that I can't do this. It's too much for me. I don't think you're going to get that here. I think my experience, they're pretty smooth and clean through the turf. Like, you can clip, you can, go down and dig one if you have to, but like, when you take that average fat swing that a higher handicap might do, they help you. They make a huge difference. And then when you catch it like way up here on the face, well, your diamond face is going to come in and bail you out and still give you a good shot out of it. So I don't know. I think for an extreme game improvement iron, they are very playable for a wide range of people. Yes, I don't think you're going to see. A lot of the Champions guys have been putting the C721 in the bag. No, I don't think you're going to see them throw these. And though, I don't know, you might see some of those guys get some get these in a 4-iron instead of, they're not quite ready to go into a driving iron or a utility iron, and they do something like this. But
sure,
it's super forgiving, super easy to hit, and I think people looking for something in that category that's a little nicer and the best of all worlds, that could be the club, could be it.
I also appreciate when you talked about the weight in the toe to get that, to help with kind of the draw sort of get the toe through it. It's blended very well. I will say that too. It's kind of like Tour Edge just kind of snuck it in there. Like, we're just going to put a little bit more weight in the toe. And I don't think people would notice that at all. It's like part of the design of the face.
Well, and
the back of the club.
In theory, when you put weight in the toe like that, it's going to keep the toe from coming around. So it's going to open it more and make it go right. So, like, if you want a fade bias club, you set your weight toward the toe.
Right.
So they can't, to get the effect of this lower, I should say, elongated sweet spot, but not not shut or keep it so the club face flies open. That's tough. And they had to find the right blend, and Glad and the boys did it. That's all I can say. They're really nice. They're really, really nice. They're a time. So the first time I hit them was at Tour Edge. They're like, I was hitting the C721. I'm like, man, this is really nice. So you could convince me to play these. Yeah. And Claffy's like, hey, try this one now. And I don't remember what club I had, but I was hitting it a bazillion yards. I was like, oh my God. And just miss, just bombs. It was almost like too much for me. And why wouldn't you play them, Bill? Like, look, they're for a different category. I'm not that category, but I was very, very impressed leaving Tour Edge that day, and I didn't think the extreme game improvement iron would be one of the things that caught my eye. Yeah,
I tried to put the photos up onto the live stream. I don't know if it worked or not.
To be fair, this is the first of us. We don't know what we're doing. Maybe it worked, maybe it doesn't.
I think there's a bit of a lag because as I'm watching the live stream here, I don't see it, but they did a really good job, I think, blending everything. And what we talked about before in the episode that will never air because it didn't work, I would like to actually compare them because I am a game improvement guy, full disclosure. And I would like to actually give them a shot and compare them. I have a full set of the Cleveland UHX, and I have a couple of the Strixon ZX4s. And I think I would like to kind of do a comparison of those and see, how they compare, even visually, because I know a lot of golfers will get hung up on how irons look. And if I think a lot of us, if you didn't know any better, if you just picked up a club and hit it and it performed the way you want it to perform, you wouldn't care what it was labeled.
Right.
Either way. So
labels, man, golfers can't get away from those labels. That's why you have guys, I got to hit Tour X stiff, and I'm like, you swing it 95 miles an hour.
But I think that's a lot of the effort is put into what Tour Edge has done with these irons to sort of kind of alleviate that thing. Like, they don't look, like game improvement. They just look like pretty normal irons.
Well, and what I'd say about them, and you said, you're a game improvement guy. Like, do I think you should play game improvement irons? Yes, because I played enough golf with you. I don't mean that disparagingly.
I don't take it disparagingly. That's the thing. Like,
you are probably exactly that guy we were talking about in the middle ground where you're good. Like, you could play not, I won't say a player's blade, but like a not game improvement club probably. But it's like, if you can get the help and the benefits from it, you can still hit the shots. Why not? And I think like, really, you are exactly who we're talking about there. I think you could take this and play well with it and love it. And someone who is, let's just say, not as good as you could also benefit from it and have that experience.
Right. I agree.
So that's it, man. That's all I got. Any final questions? Is that it? Are we good? Have we covered the E721 to satisfaction?
I think we're good.
All right.
Now we have to do I don't even have like my cards. I was going to do like a swoop.
We can't.
So let's talk about the next thing. All right. So take us out of gear talk.
Chris, that was gear talk. All right. Hey guys, what a gear talk. We're back.
Next time we do a live feed, I'm going to produce a transition to get it out.
First and foremost, we have to see if this even works before
Fair.
we start worrying about adding more layers to it. But we'll see.
That's never stopped me ever. Has it ever stopped me?
Oh, to a fault. It's really insufferable. Okay, so let's go on to our next topic. We cut some things from the show this time around.
Yeah.
And because we're prepared, we knew this was coming. I was prepared for it.
Yeah. Right here, right?
Let's talk about the TRUE Linkswear Dead Golfer shoes, shall
Can we talk about just the bag alone? Look at the thought and the effort they put into this bag. I mean, this thing is fantastic. It's got, I mean, come on. The golfer's creed on one side. Yeah. Just super dope. I hope this does work because that looks fantastic. Look at that camera coming through right there.
Looks perfect.
Come on.
So first time I'm going to watch this big time golf guy move. The first time I saw these was well before they were to be announced and released. Not a big deal.
Just like when you took the pictures of the E721s in the snow.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about. Side note: if you go to JerryRangeHeroes.com to check out that E721 review, yeah, I've had these in my possession
ever.
Yeah, since the snow.
Since the pandemic began. It was that long ago.
Yes. But yeah, so I saw so there's two models of shoes. There's the OG Feel, which I have here. Chris has the Luxe Knit over there. Very different shoes. They look very different, but I saw this one first. And the OG Feel is probably my favorite shoe model in the TRUE Linkswear lineup. It is so comfortable, breathes very well, not waterproof. But these have that like cool speckled sole going on, right? And obviously, well, listen, the skeletons, if you can see, I don't know if you can see it. Skeletons, always cool, right? But just what a shoe. Such a good looking shoe, and I knew I had to have them. So I do. And then Chris, you have yourself the waterproof Luxe Knit version. And I'll be honest, when I saw the pictures, I went like, oh, they're cool, but I like the OG Feel better by a mile. And then when I got them in hand, that Luxe Knit is so nice.
I'm going to take them off my foot right now.
I was wondering, like, are you going to put these on the screen? But look at that. And they have the cool clear soles with the Dead Golfer through them.
My shoes are way better than your shoes, man.
How can you say
won
that?
the shoe lottery on that one. I mean, look at those.
Chris, they're both winners. TRUE Linkswear doesn't make a bad shoe.
It's true. You're right. I mean, look at this. Look at the sole. Can you imagine following through on a shot and, your playing partners see that? I mean, come on. I'm going to go full camera here real quick just for me. There we go. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that shoe.
Have you worn them around yet?
I've been wearing them all day. So you know how I love a good house shoe.
I do.
So I was wearing them around today as a house shoe, and full disclosure. Let me go full. Again, I'm producing these. So these shoes are not tied tight, right?
Right.
This is how they arrive. Basically, they give you a nice little setup there. So I put them on, and I was wearing them around the house because for those that don't know, I'm a house shoe guy. I like to wear shoes around the house, but I have house shoes. I don't wear them outdoors. I wear them. I wear them indoors. But here's the thing. I was wearing these all day, and I literally forgot they were on my feet. They fit so perfectly on my feet that I did actually end up wearing them outdoors when I walked the dog inadvertently. Like I just left the house with them on because they're just so comfortable that they may as well been just like slippers. And they're just so nice on my feet.
And we've had such bad weather here in the Chicagoland area lately that there may have been some puddles. And had you walked those puddles, your feet would have stayed dry because that is a waterproof shoe.
It is. Look at that toe, too. When you come up on your toe after a follow-through, protected there. I just can't get over how great the bottoms of those soles are. And the other thing, too, is, there's a ton. I don't know. I'm going to go one more time to my full camera here, just so people can get the bottom and see the traction involved. I mean, these are not your normal sort of
spikeless.
Spikeless shoe. Like these things will dig.
What I give these guys credit for, though, like this is the only thing, obviously. Think about spikeless golf shoes, and it was like, oh, good for on the course and off the course, from the car to the range. And it's like, oh yeah, is there like a little condensation on some asphalt? You'll be sliding everywhere. Don't tell me these are on and off the course shoes by any means. Yeah. I have an extensive True Linkswear collection, and I have pairs I never golf in, and I only wear them as street shoes. And like, during this pandemic, as a sneakerhead and what have you, the only shoes I wear anymore. Think if you see me in person, if I'm not wearing flip flops, I'm wearing some True Linkswears, and they have a tread that is aggressive enough on the course. Like you maintain good traction. And I have an aggressive swing. I get the club moving, and I can still hold my ground in them. Right. So you feel like, okay, I have good tread and grip on the course, and you get really good feedback through the OG platform that I have on the OG Feels. But even in the Lux Knit like that, they still grab enough. But then when you go walking on some concrete when you're done, they feel like normal shoes. And I like to throw this around, even in the winter where we have snow and ice. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like I have spikes on the bottom of my feet that just dig into it, but better grip than, say, like, I don't know, my Jordan 1s or 11s or Nike Dunks, whatever, right? So I don't know. They really are a good on the course, off the course shoe. I love them. Love the brand. I'm a recent convert in the era of True Linkswear 2.0, but that's another conversation for another day. God, I love these new ones. That Lux Knit, I'll just tell you, you don't have to do this, but they became my snow blowing shoe over the winter. I throw on some. Oh
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Throw on some waterproofs pants, right? Basically, I throw on my golf gear and some True Linkswear Lux Knits just to prove a point, because I thought it'd be funny. Like, all right, Brandon Wallach over at True Linkswear, let's see how waterproof your waterproof knits are. Oh, they are? Okay. And then sneak. The only thing I said, I'm like, you know what? It's a little cold when you're in the snow for that shoe. You know, it's not super warm per se. Coming soon, the Sport from them. OG. This is the OG Sport. There's two Sport models, but this shoe, it's a warmer knit and it's waterproof. So this may be the new snow blowing shoe, but we'll talk about that another time.
Interesting.
I just threw that and almost broke a bunch of camera gear. No big deal.
Yeah, but these are, and I don't know if, did you mention I think it says it on the back of this shoe, if you can see it. I think I did it too quick, but it's got something, what is it called? The Wanderlux.
Oh yeah, the Wanderlux foam sole. Yeah. Durable, doesn't get all creasy and crunchy, and still soft, but
I think that's what played. Maybe you can ask your pal Wallach about that, but I think that's what makes it feel like a normal shoe, even though it's got all that sort of traction on the bottom of it. It just has such a soft feel on the inside. Also, I know you've talked about this 100 times before, but the way that the shoe just naturally fits your foot is something to really behold. Like, it's hard to describe, but like, you slip your foot in there and you're like,
it's hard to describe it. It feels like it's almost like a tight fit putting it on. Like, it's a little hard to put on, but I mean, I forgot what it is, but it's something like they will go from a standard narrower fit up to 4E in their size, which
is that right?
That's a big foot. Yeah. And these knit uppers, you know, these like sock fit uppers, they naturally form to your foot. And then especially like when you tie them up and tighten them, it's like, and no matter your foot, it custom fits to it and gives you it's tough because it's tough to explain because it squeezes your foot almost, but your foot doesn't feel squeezed. It's like the shoe fits your foot accordingly, so you have the right support.
If anyone out there has ever gotten a Bill Bush hug, it feels like a hug from
you.
It feels like a little hug around your body. Like, oh, that's nice. I like it.
Right. And actually, what people don't know is it's like I don't hug people. I hug their feet. It's really weird. Just kidding. But that is funny to imagine. One thing we should point out, limited edition, the Dead Golfer.
It's true.
I don't, who knows? Maybe we're talking about this for no reason. We didn't do it in this recording, but you have the TRUE Linkswear Dead Golfer hat in the background there that's sold out, but it's a sick hat. It was a limited,
you can see it
limited
right there.
edition capsule. So I don't know how much they have of what size left. I do know they're still up on the site, but if you're into them and you want to check, like this is, I mean, look, I have a pair from their Pebble collection of the Luxe knit that's like all white with clear blue soles. They're so sick. Those were up there, but this is, out of all my TRUE Linkswears, this Dead Golfer OG feels my favorite one. It's so good. So check them out.
Shoe. And you've got the little guy on the heel.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
And they're like heel to Achilles region. Yeah, they're awesome. Dope. I love this shoe so much. And I'm even getting that, like, well, they're limited. I can't get them again. And I don't want to wear them and ruin them. So like, I have that whole thing going too.
I have to decide if they actually will leave the house again. Yeah. It was like the first time, like, you know.
No, you're like barkeepers friending the soul when you get home. TRUE Linkswear Dead Golfer collection. And by the way, they first introduced the Dead Golfer in 2016 or 17, one of those two. So for those looking for controversy there, no, they did not steal it. They were first to that party. You're welcome. All right, that's it. That's a TRUE Linkswear Dead Golfer. Chris, I think we're good to wrap this thing up. What's going on at Origin Story? Still on vacation? Yeah,
I'm on vacation. I'm going to be leaving the contiguous United States here shortly. We can talk about that next week, maybe. And then when I get back, we're going to fire the show back up because I've been on summer hiatus. I've been enjoying my summer. And so we'll come back at some point with some people.
And that's good. We'll have new Origin Stories to talk about for the winter when we can't golf.
That's right.
It's going to be great. Hey, real quick, for that trip, am I going to have to? I'm going to have to get a co-host, aren't I? God.
You're going to need it. So I said we talk about it later. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Sorry.
It's fine. I mean, at this point, it's my streak we're worried about. So
it's true. I've left my streak way behind. I don't even have my own show that I'm the host of. I was like, meh.
And we were like, some other people want to host it for a month. All right, so you have that. That's great. Over at DriveRangeHeroes.com.
Yeah.
We got the Tour Edge review we talked about here. The Cleveland Launcher XL Halo woods were announced this week. We got that up. We want to go check those out. Lots of lofts. They're interesting. An interesting wedge. He's reviewed a couple models for them now, and I think it's a cool small brand doing wedges and putters. As of now, that's what they do. They've been around for some time, and the people who the niche market they hit, right? People seem to like them a lot. So check out that review.
Should we? I don't think we've had John in the show. I know he's dying to come on. Should we have him come on to talk indie wedges?
Maybe we'll do that. Well, you have yourself some to work with, so maybe after you do that, maybe we can do like an in-person show.
I like it
because we're due for an in-person show.
Man, are we ever?
I'm starting to get like.
Are we ever?
I don't know. It's almost like I'm starting to get like withdrawals from it and feel like even weirder basement creep than I already do.
You know how I'm gonna, man. Just prepare yourself mentally for me doing a in-person show because I'm going to be a psycho. You know this.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Don't worry. I got extension cords and power strips and everything ready to go.
That's all I ask.
All right. That's it. It's our first effort at doing the live YouTube thing. Who knows how it went? We'll find out after the fact. That's Chris McEwen. This is his YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe down comment, here somewhere.
All of it.
Right.
Check him out at Chris McEwen on the social medias, at Chris McEwen Golf on Facebook. It's pretty complicated. Go to DriveRangeHeroes.com. Look at all the golf content. Follow us at Range Heroes on all the social media. This has been episode 80 of That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. Chris, it's been a pleasure. The rest of you, we'll see you next week.